Well, thanks, Fred, so much for joining me this afternoon. I'm so delighted to have you share your 3 secrets to wonderful and excellent mobile photography, which I benefited from as well. Before we talk any further about those 3 very helpful secrets, I'd love for our viewers to know a little bit more about you. Could you introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Sylvia, and thanks for having me on. So my name is Fred Faulkner. I work at a top 50 consulting agency in Chicago, leading our strategic alliances and analyst relations program. We work in a bunch of areas of professional services to help organizations connect with their customers more effectively and efficiently, creating great experiences and leading them to what we call active participation. So I'm part of our digital experience team over there, and really excited to talk to you today about one of my passions and hobbies, which is mobile photography. Taking pictures every day, whether we realize it or not. And back, before, you'd have to have this lot of equipment and expensive equipment to take really professional photos. And the amazing thing is that technology has made these things that are on you 24/7, 365, one of the most amazing devices that are out there. And it's not because it's a phone. In fact, more people will buy a phone because of its camera and the camera features than it is about the fact that they actually be a communication device. So as Sylvia mentioned, I've given some talks on this before in the past. So I'm going to share with you my 3 tips to make your mobile photography just a little bit better. So the first one is that just because you have a great phone doesn't, you can take bad pictures. We all do it all the time. So what can you do to make things a little bit easier? So taking traditional photography secrets, such as things like the rule of thirds, you want to make sure you're creating a composition that will fit your picture, your subject matter as best possible, whether it's your kids, whether it's landscape photography or architecture. The best thing to do is to go in your camera settings and turn on the grid. And there's a couple different ways the grid will appear, but basically you want to get a 9-box grid on your phone. And that way you can really embrace what they basically call the rule of thirds. So you can take shots head on, but sometimes it's better to have your subject matter in one part of the screen or another part of the screen, and leading your photographer, leading your subject into other parts of the photo to give it a little more of a storytelling component. So first tip, turn on the grid, rule of thirds. It's one of the better things that help you create better compositions. My second tip is, just because you took a picture doesn't mean that's how the picture has to be at the end of the day. So my second tip is embrace cropping. So your phone is powerful enough that you are shooting 12 megapixels, 16 megapixels. New phones are coming out with 48 megapixels, 30 times zoom. Don't feel you always have to zoom, because zoom will reduce the quality at times for the photo, but you can crop into your subject matter to achieve basically the same effect. And that keeps quality of the pixels high, but allows you to restructure and reframe how your photo is going to be taken. So sometimes you're running and gunning, your kids are running around, you take that shot. Just because you didn't have time to set up on a rule of third or set up on a composition doesn't mean you can't get a great picture. Embrace cropping. So that is after the fact, using either the predefined square or the 5x4, or just look at the different options they have. Cropping will go a long way. And my third tip is changing your perspective. So a lot of us will take a picture, and the first thing we do is we pull up our phone and it's up in our face, and you're doing something at eye level. And my biggest tip is crouch down, look at different angles. Don't take the natural shot that you're going to want to take. Change your perspective. And again, by doing that, taking the rule of thirds and doing, cropping, you can get some pretty amazing shots. And that even means like getting down really low. If you want to get a perspective from street level, take your phone and put it right down towards the ground. If you want to get a reflection off of a puddle, you got to get the phone right down almost into that water to be able to get that reflection to come up.
For those who want to continue the dialogue with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Fred Faulkner IV. It's on the 4th. I also have another Instagram account called According to Fred, but that's more of my business side. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at According to Fred. That's kind of my normal moniker. And then to the point about just kind of marketing technology, and the point about like downloading apps and where your data go, I have a podcast as well. So you can find me at According to Fred, the podcast, on Spotify, Apple podcasts, and all the major kind of podcast networks. So I try and publish something every couple of weeks, and then topics range from where's your day to go to, if you're interested in things like masterclass, I give a review of what I think about that, as well as just even simple things like talking about virtual reality with one of my friends that's a VR specialist. So the topics range from marketing, technology, and just kind of life in general, but that's one of my fun hobbies, and I try to do that on the side as well. So
that's great. I love that you are showing your creativity and sharing it with people in different ways.
Yeah.
And thank you for bringing such great tips to us. Your 3 secrets have personally brought me joy, more joy.
That makes me
photography.
Happy. That makes me happy. So
yeah. Well, thank you, Fred. Good seeing you today.
Yeah, you as
and
well.
I look forward to hearing more from you.
All right. Take care, Sylvia.
All right. Thank you.
We'll talk soon.
Bye for now.